Welcome back to week 15 of the Prop Shop. I am your host, Bobby Stanley, also known as PropHolliday on Twitter, rocking with the GoldBoys. As you can see, I will be in my glory tonight. We got the Rams 49ers Thursday night football matchup. We got some NBA on the slate. We got the full touchdown liquor cabinet. I will go through all of that. But first, Bill Belichick is the head coach of the North Carolina Tar Heels men's football team. A few thoughts from me, because a lot's going on. I'm sorry, a lot's been said about this during the day about Belichick. Why would he go down to college? Why would he do this to his career? Yada, yada, yada. I like it. For him, I like it. He gets full control over everything. There's nobody in that school, in that university, in that institution that will tell him how to run this program. So full autonomy over his program. You have to love that for him. It's something Bob Kraft didn't do. It's something the Atlanta Falcons wouldn't do last year when they were in the hiring process. They didn't trust him as far as drafting and personnel, but they were going to let him coach the team. And he's like, dude, I'm fucking Bill Belichick. I should be able to call the shots, especially at 71 years old. Well, he's 72 now. And he's taking over North Carolina. I love it for him. His approach works better with younger guys. It's no nonsense. It's put in the work. It's my way or the highway. That type of shit kind of loses its steam in the NFL really quick with older guys, with men, with adults, with kids. They're going to eat that up. Every father of a kid who's a D1 prospect is going to go tell his son to go play for Bill Belichick. Within the next 2 years, he will have North Carolina in the playoff tournament, which another sign for that, it's expanding. It's a good move for him. It's good for Bill. The guy loves football. He loves doing what he does. He wants no one to tell him what to do. It's a little bit less stress. It's a little more relaxed. There's less expectations. He's not going to Ohio State. That might as well be a pro program. He's not going to a Notre Dame. He's going to North Carolina, live in the South, pay less taxes. Good for him. Was he going to take the Jets job? Was he going to take the New York Giants job? Would you do that at 72 years old with your ability to draft and that in the worst media market in the NFL? Hard pass. So for him, I'm happy for him. I think this is a win. Everybody else wants to see him outpace Brady or just keep going in the NFL. No, dude, go relax, do the thing you love with a lot less stress, a lot more money, and no one breathing down your neck. Good for Bill Belichick. Really quick before we go into the game, I went to the Knicks-Hawks game last night in Madison Square Garden. The Hawks won 108-100. They move on out of the quarterfinals of the NBA Cup. The Hawks look really good. I'm not going to completely shit on the Knicks, although they deserved some of that last night. They really blew that game. Cat with 5 fouls. They need Mitchell Robinson back very, very badly. They need rim protection and a backup center. Trae Young was getting to the basket at will. Dyson Daniels, DeAndre Hunter, Jalen Johnson. They look awesome. I mean, I'm not saying that they're a contender in the East, but they're a top 6 team in the East. They should be a playoff team, not a play-in team. And they can make some noise. They can win a playoff series. I'm excited to see how they handle Milwaukee. Would not be surprised if they pulled off the upset in that game. I really like Jalen Johnson. They did a good thing there, moving away from DeJounte Murray. Yes, they ended up keeping Trae Young, but if there's a piece, if someone comes to me and said, who's on the table for the Hawks? Anybody but Jalen Johnson, I would say. He's the only one untouchable. If you've never been to Madison Square Garden, it's awesome. It totally lives up to the hype. We've been having some good weeks betting here. I splurged. Me and my wife went. I got probably 6 rows from the court in one of those corner suites, so not right on the floor or anything, but it was totally worth it. I saw Ben Stiller walk by. I saw Devontae Adams walk by. Ariel Helwani, the UFC commentator. The fans, the people, the atmosphere, New York City and Christmas. If you're a sports fan and you're not in Manhattan, if you can watch a Knicks game during the month of December, I highly recommend you do it. It is an awesome experience, very nostalgic. The building was rocking. The fans were getting into it, even though they blew it late. But do it if you can. Game preview: Rams, 49ers, Thursday night football. Okay. Line has moved. Line opened up at 2.5. It is now sitting Rams getting 3 on the road. Rain was expected earlier in the day. I checked, I want to say, an hour ago as far as what the weather's expected to be. I heard there's an 88% chance of rain in the first half with possible lightning in the second half. The total went from 49.5 down to 48.5. So not a massive swing. I do want to double check the weather because we've had a couple instances on the show where I had like 4 p.m. news and it was very different from what we got at kickoff. So I'm going to pull that up in the background. But The Rams won the first meeting this season. They won 27-24. There was no Cup. There was no Puka Nacua. The Rams have not swept the series with San Fran since 2018. They are up 1-0. The Niners, coming off a dominant victory over the Chicago Bears, they should win that game, but both of these teams, this game really, really matters to their playoff hopes. So not only is it a divisional matchup, not only is it, Shanahan, McVay, all that good stuff, this could be a line in the sand for both of these teams. Whoever wins here, your playoff chances greatly improve, obviously, but you're trending in the right direction. You're peaking at the right time. So I'm excited for this game. Needless to say, Rams fan or not. Injuries have a lot to do with what's going on with both of these teams. Earlier in the season, Rams destroyed with injuries. They had no Cooper Cup and Puka Nacua for most of the beginning of the season. Their offensive line just completely decimated. They've gotten healthy. Coming out of the bye, they're 6-2 out of the bye. And with both Cup and Puka Nacua, Stafford is 6-2. The Niners, on the other hand, they're down to their third and fourth running back on the depth chart. Isaac Gerardo. He is questionable, but he's expected to go. Nick Bosa, questionable. I think he plays. I was on a bunch of San Francisco 49ers fan sites. They kept him out last week to play him this week. So Bosa should be good to go, which is huge. Trent Williams, left tackle, dealing with the loss of his son, still out on that side. The Niners will get Dre Greenlaw back, which is huge. But their guard, his name is escaping me, he is out. And someone else on the defensive side of the ball. I have it pulled up. Give me 1 second. On the Rams side of the ball tonight, their best member of their secondary, of one of the worst secondaries in the league, Kobe Durant, cornerback, is out. So that's a big piece for the Rams on that side. They were supposed to get Tyler Higbee back. Tyler Higbee gonna have to wait one more week to make his 2024 debut. Fun facts, coming at you with some fun facts. Last season, Rams finished 7-1 after their bye to clinch a playoff spot after starting 3-6. The Rams this season started 1-4. They are 6-2 out of the bye, so some similarities. 49ers offense has struggled without Trent Williams this season, averaging 4.3 yards per carry with Williams off the field versus 5 yards a carry with Williams on the field. Again, he's not playing tonight. In addition, the 49ers have a higher run stuff rate with Williams off the field. 24% of their runs get stuffed when Williams is not on the offensive line versus 17% when he is. Obviously, he's the best pass blocking left tackle in the league, but it does make him matters in the run game as well. Juwan Jennings targeted a career-high 44% of his routes in that Week 3 matchup with the Rams. He hauled in 11 of his 12 targets in that game for 175 yards and all 3 of Brock Purdy's passing touchdowns. Jennings generated 68 yards receiving over expected against the Rams in that Week 3. The weather is going to have a big factor on this. If it was crystal clear skies, I think Juwan Jennings goes off for 100 yards. I don't know what to make of it with the weather, so I'm reluctant to put him in much. At least from a passing standpoint. There's another wide receiver I have my eyes on, though. The 49ers have recorded a league-high 56% success rate on rushes inside the tackles this season and have gained 4.6 yards per carry on those attempts. That's 8th in the league. 1.7 yards before contact. That's 6th in the league. And they have the recorded 15 explosive runs, inside runs this season, resulting in a 12% explosive inside rush rate. What does that mean? It's the 8th highest in the league. They can break you from the middle of the field. Trent Williams on the edge, does that hold any weight to this thing, to weight to that stat? And no Christian McCaffrey and no Mason as well. So Shanahan's been known to get it done with not that much. With that, I want to talk about my first play for tonight, and it is on the rushing. It is in the rushing market, but it's on the Rams side of the ball. Give me Kyren Williams over 71.5 rushing yards. I put this in 2 days ago, gave it out to the Discord. I think it's sitting around 73.5 now. I still like it. Obviously, the rain should have some type of impact, whether it be a soggy field or the inability to push the ball downfield. But for LA, they have a clear advantage across the interior offensive line. I think they lean heavily on that early. In the Week 3 matchup against San Fran, Williams carried the ball 24 times, 89 yards. They didn't have Cup or Nacua in that matchup, and it would behoove Sean McVay to establish the run game tonight. I do think that's going to be the recipe for success. If they start getting some 3 and outs, it's going to get ugly against San Francisco. It's a Jekyll and Hyde team. As a Rams fan, I can admit that they need long, sustainable drives. The more they go 3 and out, the more Shanahan's going to figure it out eventually. With what he's got in front of him. Over the last 3 weeks, James Cook, 14 rushing attempts for 107 yards against San Fran. Ray Davis, 11 times for 63 yards. Josh Jacobs, 26 times for 106 yards. Bosa is going to be good to go. My guess is that he is still somewhat of a situational pass rusher. He's not going to be on every single down, but he will obviously help the run game. I like this at over 71.5. We'll talk a little bit more about Blake Corum in the show. Blake Corum has been creeping up. He's at 8 carries, I think, in each of the last 2 weeks, 4.7 yards per carry. McVay commented on it, said, I'm happy with his progression. I like where he's at. We need Kyren Williams fresh late in games, and this does that. So Blake Corum, early on in the game, if you want to bet a touchdown score, maybe a first half touchdown score for Corum. I know he hasn't scored yet. I know I've been pounding the table for Blake Corum since probably week 4 to score a touchdown. I've picked my spots, but I want to say I'm 0 for 4 on him to score a touchdown. Hasn't scored yet. Tonight with the rain, it's making me reconsider. Before we go into my second play of the game, FanDuel's making it easy to get in on the action. Bet $5, get $150 in bonus bets if you win. Plus, and this is my favorite part, 3 free months of NBA League Pass. It's that simple. Click the link in the episode description and jump in. You must be 21 plus to take part. If you have a gambling problem, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. If you don't have NBA League Pass and you don't want to pay for it, seriously sign up and do this. It's awesome. Being able to watch every game, all the out-of-market stuff, I have to have it for what I do, for the sports betting I do, or at least that's what I tell my wife I have to have it. It is a write-off. But if you're not like me and you still want to watch some NBA, their ratings need the help. Sign up. You get 3 months free of NBA League Pass. It is really worth it. You get to watch a lot of cool out-of-market teams. That's how I became such a big Orlando Magic fan, or else I wouldn't be able to see him. Second play for tonight. Normally I do like one NFL, one NBA. It's a 48.5 point total. It's my Rams. I have to have another bet on this, but I'm not betting on the Rams side of the ball. I'm going to bet my heart here. Ricky Purcell, San Francisco 49ers, wide receiver, over 16.5 receiving yards. He could hit this in one reception. Just want to say that. It's 14.5 on ESPN bet for like minus 135, 15.5 on Caesars for minus 117. I took the 16.5 for minus 110. I didn't want the juices. I didn't mind the extra point, the extra yard for the juice. I'd rather have less juice. I feel confident about Purcell playing. Rams, zone-heavy team. I think they run the 4th or 5th most zone looks in the NFL, and they're missing Kobe Durant. They're going to end up starting Ahkello Witherspoon and Darius Williams, and we're going to see Emmanuel Forbes, who the Commanders cut. He was a former first-round pick. The guy is skinnier than my 2-year-old son. It's bad. It looks weird how skinny he is, but I think he's going to get some minutes. He's a former first rounder. He didn't shake out in Washington. They'll give him a shot here, but I think he needs a milkshake. I'll have Jennings in some type of same game parlay, whether it be like a touchdown. But I like this line for Purcell specifically. I think Shanahan's going to want to take advantage of that matchup in the secondary. Since Ayuk went down, Purcell's target rate versus zone doubles his in man coverage. So since week 8, his target rate in zone is double that of man coverage. Obviously, the Rams, the zone heavy team. 4 targets, 3 receptions versus zone over the last 5 weeks. And it's worth mentioning his only touchdown this season came against zone coverage, so he will be in the touchdown liquor cabinet. Spoiler alert. Before we get into the touchdown liquor cabinet, a couple words from my boy Brad, who I was just texting a few minutes ago. So if you're watching, hi, Brad.
Wait, before we get back to the picks, I wanted to thank you all for watching. Friends don't let friends watch videos without hitting the like button. So go ahead and press the thumbs up button and like the video. If you're new here and not subscribed, you should go ahead and do so because we're dropping new content each and every day on the GoldBoys Network. We strive to cover every sport and give out picks and analysis and valuable information for free on the GoldBoys Network. So make sure you're subscribed and hit the bell so you can get notified when we drop something new. I'm Brad Thomas. Let's get back to the picks.
Touchdown liquor cabinet for tonight. Top shelf. I got one for you. It's plus 140 over on DraftKings. It's Deebo Samuel. And you see, look, guys, I'm hedging my happiness here. I'm just going to put all my money on the 49ers. And if the Rams win, I'm personally satisfied. But Deebo Samuel is my top shelf. He's my one unit. He's plus 140. He's getting dragged through the mud this week for getting community notes corrected on Twitter for how he's done. But his one, he needs a redemption spot. I'll give him that. Two, they really are down to the bare bones in terms of running back. They can use Deebo out of the backfield. The Rams give up a ton of explosive runs, big runs. They're second in the league in missed tackles. Deebo's track record against the Rams speak for itself. It's probably the only game. If there was a better time for him to come off being embarrassed and play someone, it would be against the Los Angeles Rams. That's how his career has gone against this team. He's lit them up. So Deebo plus 140 is my one unit, my top shelf play. Going into the mid shelf, Ricky Purcell plus 550, I believe, over on FanDuel. We talked about it. His only touchdown this season came against zone coverage. Rams being such a zone-heavy team. If you have Deebo operating out of the backfield, if you have Juwan Jennings, I do think he's going to see that extra attention. And then you have Kittle and Purcell. I think this is an opportunity for Shanahan to exploit the Rams' biggest weakness, and it is that secondary. So I like his receiving yards. I do think there's a possibility he can squeak one in, go a quarter of a unit on Ricky Purcell. Plus 550 is not bad. Another guy for me I got earlier in the week, Tutu Atwell at plus 450. Looks like Demarcus Robinson is going to play. I jumped on this thinking D-Rob was going to be out because he left last week. I believe he hurt his hand or something. Demarcus Robinson's going to play. I still like Atwell. Sean McVay feel like weekly he admits, we got to get him more involved. We got to get him more involved. He made a massive fourth down catch last week against the Bills to seal the game. They trust him. He's similar to Deebo in the sense that he can take end arounds. They give him some plays out of the backfield. Tutu Atwell of a quarter of a unit at plus 450. Can't go wrong. And the obligatory Blake Corum plus 550, put a quarter of a unit on it. Eventually, I'm just doing this for the fact that if I miss him scoring a touchdown after how I've bet him this whole season, I'm going to shoot myself in the foot. So Blake Corum plus 550, quarter of a unit, 8+ carries in each of the last 2 weeks. San Francisco has struggled against the run recently. Corum's going to break one. And I have a feeling he's going to break one in the first half because of what McVay said of, I have to I need Kyron fresh late in games. He's going to close out the games. Blake Corum, if you can get a first half touchdown, they may have that in a couple other books. You probably get that over 10-1. So Blake Corum, quarter of a unit. And Vaca, Deebo Samuel, 2 touchdowns, plus 1,000. I really do think it's a bounce back game for him. I bet him last week on his yards, rushing and receiving combined. He didn't get there. This is a way better matchup for Deebo Samuel to bounce back in. Saying that with the Rams jersey on. So Deebo, 2 touchdowns, plus 1,000. If you're looking for some lotto stuff, if you have one of those batshit round robins I always talk about, put that Deebo 2 touchdown in there. He's going to surprise some people tonight. And finally, the cross sport lotto plus 32.95. We'll call it 3,300. 33-1 on your money. And it's one guy we already talked about. It's Ricky Purcell. I'm going to take the alt line at 30+ receiving yards. Should be like plus 160, plus 175, depending what book you're on. So give me Purcell 30 yards receiving tonight against that weak secondary. Second leg, CJ McCollum, 25+ points. He had 31 against Sacramento with Ingram out of the lineup last season. He's had 25+ in 2 of 6 games without Ingram this season. I think it's like plus 200, plus 210. So give me McCollum for 25+ against the Kings tonight. And the last leg, RJ Barrett, double-double. Plus 310 over on Bet365, plus 210 over on FanDuel. Barrett's had 2 double-doubles, 1 triple-double without Scotty Barnes this season. Scotty Barnes is out. These 3 legs, Ricky Purcell, 30+ receiving, CJ McCollum, 25+ points, RJ Barrett with a double-double. $20 pays $697. So if you're looking for a little crazy action across NBA and NFL because you just signed up for the NBA League Pass, put this one in. $20 pays $697. Touchdown liquor cabinet. Just put your money on Deebo. He's going to end up making me go to bed early tonight. And then Kyron Williams over 71.5 receiving. Ricky Purcell over 16.5 receiving. Play the alt line. Play 20+. You'll get plus money depending on the books. Guys, I'm hoping for no rain. I'm hoping for a Rams victory. If you want my honest opinion, I would go under 48.5. And I'd probably take San Fran minus the 3. The fact that the line's moving against them. is not a good sign. I read a lot of San Fran message boards are saying Brock Purdy can't hold the ball in the rain. We'll see. Keep an eye on the weather. Right before we go, I have the weather pulled up. Let me check. Coastal flood advisory until 1 p.m. on Monday. Thursday, 56 degrees, currently raining, precipitation, 20% chance by 9 p.m. So between 15 and 20% chance it's going to rain at kickoff. It has been raining all day. Is it windy? 12 miles an hour. It's not nothing if you're kicking a football. So take under 48 and a half. Take San Fran money line in the under. You'll get your money back. Guys, I will see you on Sunday. Take care.